Welcome to the Effin' John Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. Now here is Effin' John Joda.
All right, greetings, Earthlings. John Joda here. I'm with my sister Beth. I had to bring a witness because I do a lot of self-reflection, and I don't cuss, and I have no idea why. I'm bringing Beth here so she can verify that I don't.
No, he does not.
Why would you think I wouldn't cuss?
Well, I didn't when I was a kid either. And I don't normally, as a grown-up now either, even though our older siblings cuss freely all the time.
You know,
I have to get really upset.
I think that for me, I think people, when I don't cuss, they think I'm offended by cussing, and I'm not at all.
Right.
My brain thinks cussing all the time. It just won't come out. And I've never really understood why that was. And that's kind of what this show is going to be about, is trying to figure out why is it that John doesn't cuss. And so I think it all starts, some of it starts, because you're a witness to the childhood thing.
Mm-hmm.
This part of it is when you have a lot of trauma as a child, you become more of a people pleaser as you get older. And you're trying not to offend anybody, trying to make sure no one gets mad at you. And that's something I had looked up with this as well, that this was a possibility, that this was what was going on. I'm not sure for sure about that. That would be considered a social anxiety disorder related to childhood trauma, which would cause me not to cuss to try to please people. There's some other words for it, which I will bring up later in the show. But one thing for sure is that all my life I've had fear of some sort, of different things. When we were young, we saw the movie The Birds from Alfred Hitchcock. And so now I am afraid of birds.
You afraid of my tattoo?
Well, for example, today we went out to eat at a place at a patio, and a bird landed on the table next to me. I couldn't stop thinking about the bird on the table. I even have done things trying to, some facing your fears and whatnot. For a while, I built a website for Camp Bird Sanctuary in Montana, in which I had to go directly with birds. A friend of mine, Julianne, gave me a movie called Polly, which is a movie about a talking bird. She thought that would loosen me up. But I still have that phobia of birds.
You do.
I do. Franklin Roosevelt, FDR, beginning of World War II, he said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. That never made any sense to me. Fear of fear.
This great nation will endure as it has endured, will revive and will prosper. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
I also learned a lot about myself watching the Charlie Brown Christmas special when Lucy is analyzing Charlie Brown.
I think you have a customer.
May I help you?
I'm in sad shape.
Wait a minute. Before you begin, I must ask that you pay in advance. 5 cents, please. Boy, what a sound! How I love to hear that old money clink. That beautiful sound of cold, hard cash. That beautiful, beautiful sound. Nickels, nickels, nickels. That beautiful sound of plinking nickels. All right now. What seems to be your trouble?
I feel depressed. I know I should be happy, but I'm not.
Well, as they say on TV, the mere fact that you realize you need help indicates that you are not too far gone. I think we better pinpoint your fears. If we can find out what you're afraid of, we can label it. Are you afraid of responsibility? If you are, then you have hypengiophobia.
I don't think that's quite it.
How about cats? If you're afraid of cats, you have ailurophasia.
Well, sort of, but I'm not sure.
Are you afraid of staircases? If you are, then you have climacophobia. Maybe you have thalassophobia. This is fear of the ocean. Or Cussaphobia, which is the fear of crossing bridges. Or maybe you have pantophobia. Do you think you have pantophobia?
What's pantophobia?
The fear of everything. That's it!
And in sometimes that is how things feel to me. Like, I'm afraid of everything. You know, it's silly. And funny thing is, you would think as you get older, you'd be afraid of less. Like you've been through so much. And one thing I'll tell you now, if you're thinking maybe there was some kind of discipline regarding cursing or cussing, there was not. It wasn't like that Christmas Story episode where they shoved the bar of soap in the kid's mouth. I never got my mouth washed out with soap.
Over the years, I got to be quite a connoisseur of soap. My personal preference is for Lux, but I found Palmolive had a nice, piquant after-dinner flavor, heady, but with just a touch of mellow smoothness.
Did you ever get criticized for cursing?
Because I didn't cuss either.
Well, that's our topic, and we're going to move forward with that now. Thank you, Beth, for helping me.
Okay, did you tell them that we're the last two of the big family?
Oh, we have 7 kids. I'm 6th and she's 7th. In a way, I'm 7th and 8th because we did have a sibling that died the day she was born. So we would have been 7 and 8. But as far as the living siblings, we're 6 and 7.
I'm 7.
And there are 2 generations. So like my brother's my next older one. He's 6 years older than me. So a very, very different kind of upbringing from one to the other. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. That makes no sense at all to me. But I do have lots of fears. And I always thought if I could cuss, because I think cuss, like something may happen and there may be cuss words in my head, but I can't think cuss. If I did cuss, I would sound a lot like Samuel L. Jackson. And his favorite cuss probably would be my favorite cuss as well. All right, so I've done a little research on this. And of course, to do that, you do a little Google, a little AI. And AI's Google gives some information about the fear of cursing. Fear of cursing, sometimes called cacagolophobia, fear of swearing, or scrupulosity, which is more religious or moral, OCD, is an intense anxiety about using profanity. It often stems from strict upbringing, fear of judgment, unwanted intrusive thoughts, and causing individuals to over-control their speech to avoid shame or perceived filth. Now, one thing I can tell you is that over time, there have been words I would say when I was young, but I won't say now because I found out they offended somebody, so I can't say them anymore. For example, I was a fan of Washington's football team when I was a kid. But now I've been told that that is an offensive word, so it's gone onto the list of things I can't say. So I mentioned trauma association. Some associate swearing with past anger, violence, or unpleasant childhood experiences, making them avoid due to fear of conflict. Now that kind of fits me pretty well. Fear of conflict is definitely a part of me. I'm a bigger person, and when I was a kid, my mom used to warn me not to get angry because if I hurt somebody, we'd lose our house. And she'd always say that to me. So, but I'm not like a bad person, but I don't know. So I don't know why she said that. There are ways to correct this. There's something called exposure and response prevention, cognitive behavioral therapy, which I suppose makes you say it, whether you want to or not. Gradual practice. Those would be other ways to get a hold of it. Now, there was another word. So I can find it in here. Cacagolophobia. I don't know if that's it or not. It's also sometimes known as deprecophobia. which I could say that better, deprecophobia. There's the fear of swear words, including using it, reading it, or thinking about it. I don't have that fear. It's all about the speaking. That's the thing, which tells me it does fit more into that social anxiety disorder, where I'm trying to please the people I'm with and be, I don't know, better than they expect. Not to be judged, avoid the conflict. So here someone uses this is someone with a certificate in psychology, claims it is a prude, Puritan, killjoy, moral, zealot. I'm not any of those things. I'm not. I have no moral reason to not cuss. It's just one of those things. Honestly, I'm not sure it'll ever change. I'm not sure it even needs to change. I do a lot of self-reflection, self-help things. And when you do that, what do? You compare yourself to other people in the world. What do they do that I don't do? Well, most of them cuss. And what is the benefit of that? From my perspective, they're releasing something they're angry about. They're able to express something that I cannot express myself because of the fear of judgment. So there's that. But again, I don't think there's going to be a cure to this anytime soon for me, and it's not something I'm really even seeking to cure. So for now, when I need to say a cuss word, I'm just going to leave it to Samuel L. Jackson. Thanks for watching. So, of course, he's very practiced at it. I never even tried starting it. But it does go on in my head. Another thing too, there are phobias related to the fear of hearing cussing. I'm not offended, or I don't have any fear of hearing someone cuss. In fact, sometimes I'm amused by it. I find myself like someone else is expressing something I can't express myself. At one point, I remember when I was younger, I often thought about wanting to do comedy, but the problem was I couldn't cuss. All the comedians cuss. And I thought about setting up a situation where a little kid or an old lady was cussing for me, just point at them and then they cuss and I would be without it. Well, we're going to look a little bit deeper into this. I have a few more things. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. I don't know if this will ever get resolved. I'm 65 years old. I've gone on this long. And let me have Samuel L. Jackson give his feelings about the whole thing.
That's right! You can't kill me, motherfuckers!
Thank you for watching the F and John Show. Click your notification bell so that you are notified of each future F and release.